Hey, so I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things I'm learning about dating. A lot of the people you're gonna run into, like, are gonna be looking for a rebound. They're looking for a backup because their relationship's kind of going in the pooper, and they haven't fully accepted that, like, the relationship is, like, over. But they, like, keep holding on because there's, like, hope that, like, some kind of a fling will reappear, or they miss, like, certain fun feelings that they had, or maybe there was something that happened in their relationship that was very significant, and so they don't really, like, want to get rid of the person per se. They just don't want to be in, like, an intimate relationship with them, so they, like, kind of or what's the word, like, mislead the other person on, you know, and it has to be on both sides, so you end up in, like, a triangle. And what I'm finding, there's like tons of relationship triangles, and I've actually found myself to be in one. And I told the guy, I said, you know, I'm not interested in being the other woman, you know? Like, no, thanks. I'm looking for something that is going to be stable, that is going to be long lasting, where you're not, like, lying to me. So I wanted to talk to you about, like, some things to look for in a person or a guy. Okay, ladies, because I'm sure most guys are not even going to care about this, but whatever. It can go both ways. Girls can do this too. So, how to tell if you are the other woman. Like, I think in our gut we already kind of know, but we, like, don't want to believe it, especially, like, if we really like the person and we, like, connect, you know? It's hard to believe. So one of the signs is that they always cancel, or they're never, like, available to make, like, a date too far out into the future. It could be, you know, because, like, you know, if you're the other woman, his girlfriend is taking up all of the other time, you know, and you might notice that happening, like, in cycles or waves, because as their relationship is going in cycles and waves, where, like, they're doing well for a little bit, and then, like, they start having trouble, and then, you know, that means business for you picks up because his girlfriend is, like, mad at him, and you're the other girl to go run into so you don't have to cope, which is bull. Anyway, any guy who is serious about being with you and isn't attached to someone else wouldn't dare to cancel on you. I'm gonna say that again. If he really cares about you, he ain't gonna be canceling. He's gonna want to spend as much time as possible with you. He's gonna want to know who your friends are. He's gonna want to know who your family is. He's gonna want to hang out with your circles of people. If you find yourself, like, 4 months into the relationship and he still is, like, canceling on, like, meeting your family and your friends, that is a huge freaking red flag, my friend, because that means he's got a girlfriend that he's a little bit more committed to, like, by that much, and he's already met her family. So then he's in the issue where, like, he's telling other people, you know, he's, like, living this double life, so he's telling people one thing, and then he has another group of people he's got to tell other things to, and anybody who's, like, done this for a really long time is going to know it's better to just keep it with, you know, the other woman, and don't let her, like, completely think that things are solid, you know, because being the other woman basically means, in my personal opinion, that they want to lead you on to think that there's kind of hope, but they're not really sure, like, they're taking it really slow or something stupid. It's so dumb. Guys that are really committed are not that complicated. You're dealing with a freaking narcissistic liar if they don't want to, you know, meet your friends and your family after, like, 3 months or so of being together. And by the way, that goes the same way. If they don't want you to meet their family or their friends, that's because the girl that they're this much more committed to has already met them, and they don't want people to figure things out. I would also say this: if you find, like, the guy you are really interested in, like, all of their friends are a bunch of cheaters and liars, birds of a feather, they do flock together. I will say that. And that is so true. All right, next on the list, they don't open up. A guy who is cheating on his girl will hold back on opening up with the other woman. Now, when it comes to sharing his feelings, his hopes, his dreams, his goals, he will shrug his shoulders or maybe even ignore the question entirely. Like, this is a person, you know, if you're dealing with someone and you're the other woman, they don't want to talk to you about their dreams and goals, because that leads to attachments. Because that means if they start talking about their dreams and their goals, and you're really interested in them, you're going to want to like find a way to graft yourself in there. You know, the conversation of moving in together is never going to happen. The conversation of, you know, where they plan on moving to in the next few years, where their career goals are, stuff like that, like what they want to do with their kids if they have any. So, and that way it makes it easier for them to cut things off. And like when all is said and done, like typically we figure things out and we either decide, yeah, I'm okay with being the other woman, or we're like, no, this is not cool. I want something, you know, long lasting, and we walk away. Like, you walk away and you feel like, man, I just spent all this time with this person and I don't even feel like attached. I can't even cry. You know, it's like a very abnormal situation. They can ignore the questions entirely. But yeah, he's not going to want to open up to you entirely because he's after one thing. He's looking for a feel-good moment with someone he finds attractive that is going to help him boost his ego because he's having problems with his girl, right? Yeah, just be very leery if like all they want to do is be physical when you're together. They're very protective of their phone. Yeah, because they're not going to be blocking their girlfriend. No, those alerts are coming right on through, my dear. You're the one being blocked, my friend. Yeah, so if you notice like you're sitting together and like the phone just starts blowing up, just going crazy, you know, guys do not message guys like that. Guys will say like 3 sentences worth of something and they leave it alone because guys have some like weird code where they will respond maybe in a day or so with 1 text, not 15. You know, if it's going ding, 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 like, you know, the slot machine, you know, that is the girlfriend. And I don't think I need to say any more. It's, oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I can't believe we fought like that. I want to make things better. And then she's going into her story and her side of things, and he can't resist responding to it. But he can ignore his guy friends. If you are really worth it, you are more important than all of that other crap. And he will not acknowledge his phone. His past can be blurry. Again, that kind of goes into not sharing his future. He doesn't want you to have his past, his present especially, or his future because, you know, you're just a Band-Aid. That's what it means to be the other woman or the other guy. You're just a Band-Aid to distract someone until they're feeling a little bit better and their ego is boosted and they, you know, feel whatever it is better. And then they go back to doing what they're doing, especially like, if the other person, you know, the girlfriend, for my example, starts saying she's sorry, you know, you being the other woman helps him to ignore her, to punish her in some instances, so he doesn't have to respond immediately to make it look like, oh, he's deep in thought. He ain't deep in thought, honey. He's distracted. That's all that is. Okay. And they can come up with like really like weird, shady stories that like later on it's like, I didn't realize like you had that extra detail in there. And then they're like, oh yeah, I don't know, I just, you know, it must have jogged my memory or something stupid. They tend to act paranoid, like looking over their shoulder, watching their back, fidgeting, always glancing at their phone. Yeah, because if you're going out and you ain't met his family or nobody, and he's supposed to be with somebody else, and that somebody else's family member sees you there, they're going to be like, that is not XYZ. So everybody's phones are going to start going crazy, and we got a line of telephone going on here. Never going to his house is a pretty big one, although that's not always necessarily true, you know, but I would say if he's married, Yeah, you ain't going to his house if he's married. I'm just saying that right now. But like, if he's only in like the early phases of like a relationship and they're not living together yet, you might get to go to his house, but that's probably going to be for a little touchy feely and nothing really extra. And then he's going to tell you he's got to go somewhere. One of his friends are calling. That's what he'll say, but really what's happening is like if his phone starts going off and he uses that as an excuse to get rid of you, it's probably his girlfriend saying, hey, can we meet up somewhere and talk in person to fix our problems? He'll take you to the same places. Like, you don't get to go different places with him. You don't get to explore different things. Again, if you're the other person, they're not going to invest in a whole lot of memories because really you're just the Band-Aid. And if he takes you to the same places, it's because he feels comfortable and confident that he's not going to get caught. So consistency is the key, and that's why they don't want to meet your family, because they're going to have to come up with different stories, and then, you know, eventually it all falls apart and nobody wants to explain it, so. They don't add you to social media. Okay. Now, you're talking to some guy and he says, oh yeah, I want to go exclusive, and they don't want to add you to social media, and they got all these excuses like my baby mama this and ex-girlfriend that. No, a guy who's really interested in you is not going to be ashamed of you. Okay, I'll say that again. A guy who is really interested in and really into you, they will be so proud that you are their girl. They will put you on social media. They will open doors for you. They will not deny that y'all are together. They won't ask you to block certain family members because of certain drama. That's their problem. They will be completely free and open about it. They won't try to hide you. They won't try to keep you from their house. They won't cancel appointments. Only texting. Huge red flag here, okay? If he only wants to text, why? First off. Second off, if you like know his work schedule and all he wants to do is text and you try calling him to have like a nice conversation or whatever and he just hangs up first off, like after it rings twice, you need to just let the jerk face go, really, because that's disrespectful and it's rude. And he ain't gonna have any respect for you afterwards anyway. So, yeah, he's texting you because there's another girl in his bed probably. Or he's with her somewhere. You know, the girlfriend who doesn't know about you yet. Yeah, it's a lot easier to hide. And they disappear on holidays, and everything's last minute. He's secretive about his whereabouts. Like, you can never figure out where he is to meet him anywhere. And you can't reach him at night. And then he asks you to not send pictures and not meeting his friends and family. So yeah, that's kind of like my down low on things that I'm learning so far. I do not condone being the other woman. I believe in people being faithful to each other and working their problems out without band-aids, as I like to call it. But respect yourself first and foremost, and don't let no guy ever tell you that, you know, he can't take phone calls and it's like a perfectly reasonable time, you know, or it's a consistent issue. So yeah, just one lesson from an old hen on some of the bullcrap that I've been through, and I hope that I helped someone or some people out there with my little rant, because if he thinks you're worth it, there's nothing to hide. Not even from baby mamas. Okay? If he still has drama with baby mamas, then they're still in a relationship and he ain't got time or space for you anyway, and you need to go off on your own and find somebody who will respect you and who will have time and will have their crap in order. Ladies, we deserve better. Don't settle for being the other woman, and don't think that, oh, he's eventually going to XYZ that person. It ain't gonna happen, because eventually, let's say they do leave that person for you, there's always going to be another person, another woman, or another guy if it's, you know, opposite genders, because that's how they cope, and it's very unhealthy and it's very toxic, and nobody deserves to be treated like that.